Hey guys, Linda here. Welcome back to Adore. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. We're in February, so I'm coming to you with my January wrap up. I didn't have too many books. I think I read about 4 or 5 books. So I'm just going to do a quick wrap up. And only one of those books was from my TBR because I got all off the TBR because some books came out in January and I think like at the end of December that I wanted to read. Yeah, I got all off the TBR. So let's get started. First up, this was the only book that was on my TBR that I had planned. So I read Clarissa Broadbent's Daughter of No Worlds. This is book number 1 in the War of Lost Heart series. Guys, I really enjoyed this book. I only bought the first book because I was like, let me see, do I actually want to read this series? And I was blown away. This first book, I really love this book. I gave it a high 4.5 or 5 star. Really enjoyed it. If you want a nice action adventure with romantic scenarios going on, I highly recommend this book with great secondary characters. I really enjoyed this book. This was on what is her name? I'm trying to pronounce her name. Tisana? That's what happens when you read these fantasies. Some of these names, oh yeah. And the male character is Maxentarius. I love that name, Maxentarius. He was my favorite character out of this whole book. He had me, the way some of the scenario between him and her and him talking to her, and oh my God, he brought tears to my eyes. I was like, oh my God, this book. He had me sniffing and going on, staying up to about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning reading this when I got to go to work. Yeah, I finished this in 2 days. And this had, how many pages it had in here? Let's see here. 506 pages. I read this in 2 days. I'm telling you, I think I mentioned before, when you really enjoying a book, you can finish that book. I read this in 2 days because I couldn't put it down. This is on, like I said, this is on Tassana. She's in slavery when this starts. She's trying to buy her freedom from her master, and something ends up going wrong. Something happens. She ends up running away because when she got her freedom, she planned on joining the order. You'll find out about the order when you read this. I don't want to go too far into it. I don't want to give too much away. She ends up running away, joining the order. And Max, well, she calls him Max because where the order is or where it's at, she don't speak that language. So she's been trying to learn their language so she can join the order. So she had a problem with the language a little bit because she couldn't pronounce his name, and he just told her to call him Max because he ends up being her teacher, because to join the order she have to go through some trials, and she have to get trained on the trials that they're going to go through, and she ends up training with Max. And of course he don't want to train her because he's been let's just say, like I said, he's with the order, but he's not satisfied with the order. Something happened that has turned him off from the order, but he can't leave. He's still a part of the order. He can't, because once you become part of the order, you can't leave. And when this ends, it's like going to end on a cliffhanger with something happening to her, because he didn't want her to do it, but of course, he ends up training her, and he also ends up falling for her. So that's how he get drawn back into the order, because of her, because she very determined. If you like a heroine that's very determined, she know what she wants, she know what she want to go after, and she got a clear, you have a clear picture in your mind of what you want to do and what you become. When I was in high school, I still don't know what I want to become and what I want to do. I'm still confused, but she's not. She know exactly what she want, and from Max talking to her and seeing how determined she is, she motivates him to finally come around, because if she's going to go on a mission for the order. He's not letting her go alone. He's going to, because she from her vibe and what he gets from her, and he knows she's a good person, and he just starts falling for her, and he's not going to let her go off alone on some of the mission that she had to go off on, and he's going with her. And I really enjoyed this. Like I said, I loved Max. He was my favorite character out of this whole series. So, of course, when I read this, I had to get the second book. I was like, you should have bought. I'm sorry, I'm shaking the camera because I'm excited. I said to myself, you should have got the other 2 books, but I didn't want to spend that much because these books cost like $15, $16, $17. I didn't want to buy all three books and didn't enjoy them. So I did thank the when I looked on Amazon, I saw that they were on Kindle Unlimited, and I am a subscriber to Kindle Unlimited, so I was able to read the other two books for free. I was like, hallelujah. So let me pull those two up. I gave those two books, I gave those a 4-star because this was my favorite out of the whole series. Because the other two books, mostly in this one, I like because we meet the characters, we meet the secondary characters. This is when Max start having feelings for the female character. I just love all those vibes because in the second book, we just on a roller coaster ride. We go on a roller coaster ride because her and Max are trying to save the world because you got the enemy, and turns out they think they got rid of one enemy. No, another one shows up. So that's what these two books are. The second book in the series is Children of the Fallen Gods. I gave this a 4-star. This is where her and Max really get into fighting, trying to save the world. And then you got the third book, Mother of Death and Dawn. In this book, Max and her kind of get separated, so they're not together in a couple of scenes in the first beginning of this book, but they end up fighting their way back to each other. And overall, I gave this whole series a high 4.5, 5-star. I really, really enjoyed this series. If you've have heard about this series, but you didn't really want to check it out or read it, I highly, highly recommend it. It's just 3 books. The series is finished because I don't like to go into a series and the whole series not finished yet. So the whole series is finished, just 3 books. If you want a good fantasy, you got magic, you got people turning into villains, and you were like, like where did that come from? And something else happened to Max and the main female character. Something happened with Max when he first joined the order, and it's going to happen to the main female character also when she joined the order. I don't want to tell you what it is, but it kept me intrigued. I really, really enjoyed this series. Highly, highly recommend it. It's the War of the Lost Heart series. 3 books. Daughter of the Worlds is the first book. Children of Fallen God is the second book, and Mother of Death and Dawn is the third book. Highly, highly recommend all 3 books. I don't think you'll be disappointed. I really, really did enjoy it. So this was the only book from my TBR that I read. Now, all the other books I got off the TBR. Next, I have The Horde, King of Shadows. Let me find that. I also read that on Kindle. Let's see, can I find that on Amazon right quick? Here we go. Really, really enjoyed this one. I gave this a 4-star. I enjoyed it. It didn't have a lot of those special moments for me. And the 2 main characters, they was all right. Mostly what I liked about this book is the dragons, of course. And it's a marriage of convenience. I like a marriage of convenience because you know they're going to end up falling for each other. And what I really, really enjoyed was her, because she's going to end up, like I said, it's a marriage of convenience between 2 kingdoms, because he's going to come there on his dragon, and her kingdom has never seen these dragons before. So they were like, what is going on? I think it was some talk about dragons coming there a long, long, long time ago, but they hadn't seen them in a while. So they've been seeing dragons on and off, and they wonder what's going on. So finally, they finally get to meet the people who are riding the dragons, and the main hero comes there and said that either he has the princess or they give him some kind of stone. I think it's some kind of stone that he's looking for, because they need that stone because their dragons are dying off and they need those stones for their dragons or whatever, something like that. And the female character's father ends up agreeing to let him marry his daughter or take his daughter, because she ends up getting on the dragon with him, and they end up flying back to his village or his clan. And I really enjoyed her, because once you marry, I guess he's high up, he's the king or whatever, or he's over this clan. If you marry the main guy, you're going to have to learn how to ride a dragon. So those are the parts I really enjoyed on this. Is her going to school, learning how to become a dragon rider. And then at the end, once you mastered riding a dragon, you have to bond with the dragon. So if any of you seen the Avatar, where in the scene where one of the guys go up into the mountains or whatever, and they have to bond with this, I guess you call it a dragon, what they got on. But if you've seen Avatar, you'll know what I'm talking about. That happens in here because she have to go up into the cliffs or whatever, and she's got to bond with one of the dragons, because if you don't, you'll fall to your death, because the dragon will not accept you, and it'll be tossing and turning and spinning, and you end up falling to your death. So that was exciting. I really, really enjoyed that. That what made this book for me. Her training to be a dragon, her trying to bond with the dragon. Really, really enjoyed those scenes. But other than that, I didn't have no special moments out here. I very much enjoyed Zoe Draven's writing. So I will continue with this series. This is book 1. I don't know how many books you're going to have in this series, but this is the first book, and it's going to be on different characters. So it's not going to be on that same character, so that's good. It's on different characters. So I will continue with the series because I did enjoy the book. I gave it a 4 stars. Really, really enjoyed it. And this the series is called Horde of the Ithaca. I think that's what they call the dragons. So we got some more dragons coming up. I don't know what the next book is going to be, but I can't wait for it to come out. Like I said, that wasn't on my TBR, and this wasn't on my TBR either. I think this came out either at the end of December or the beginning of January. I can't remember. Maybe in December. Let's see here. Yep, it came out in December because it said 2024. Really, really enjoyed this. I gave this a 4 star. It's another one. I did enjoy it, but no, it didn't have those special moments that I really like, but I did enjoy the story. I like Anna Huang's writing. This is going to be a sports romance between Asher Donovan and what is her name? Scarlett Du Bois. And mostly this is going to be on Asher. Like I said, this is a soccer romance. He's a soccer player, and Scarlett used to be a ballerina. Well, she was trained to be a ballerina until she got hurt, and now she's unable to dance on stage anymore. So she's become a ballerina teacher, and Scarlett's brother and Asher are mortal enemies. They don't get along at all, and they end up playing on the same soccer team. And they do not like each other. So in their final game, they were in the finals. And since they don't like each other, they didn't want to, kick each other the ball or whatever. And they're the 2 best players on the team. So they end up losing. So their manager or their coach, okay, since y'all don't want to play together, I'm going to put y'all. So this summer, while we out, after soccer's over, you get to leave, and he wants them to train together at this at Sophie's school. They're going to do ballerina training or at this school, and it's going to go from there because, of course, her and Ashley got to end up together some kind of way. So something happens, and her brother ends up leaving for a couple of months, and this leave Asher and Scarlett together for a while. And so they're going to fall for each other. So if you like that tense between us, the 2 main characters falling for each other, and then how we going to tell your brother because we fallen in love with each other and we want to be together. So you got that tension going on, and you got her in the beginning trying to fight it because she knows that they didn't get along, so she's trying to fight falling for him, and he's trying to fight falling for her, but of course it don't work. So if you like that kind of scenario, them trying to find out how they're going to tell her brother and them fighting, trying to fall for each other, I think you enjoy this. I did. I enjoyed it. I gave it a 4 star, and I will continue this series. What series is this? I hope I wrote it down. Gods of the Game. I think that's what it's called. Gods of the Game series. This is book 1, and I will be looking forward to reading book 2. Like I said, I did enjoy it. I gave it 4 stars. If you like Anna Huang, I don't think you'll be disappointed. I think this is her first sports romance. So I'm looking forward to the next one. I think the next one is going to be on Scarlett's brother. So, and one of their friends and it had good secondary characters too. I enjoyed the secondary characters. It's going to be one of her friends, and her brother falling for each other. And I think the girl is going to be their coach's daughter. So, we're going to have some tension going on there because, look, we don't want to, I don't think the coach want any of the players messing with his daughter. So, looking forward to that book. Gave it a 4. I gave this 4 stars. I would recommend it to you if you like sports romance and you like the kind of tension going on, how we're going to be together. I think you'll like this book. And the last book I had, that was also on Kindle Unlimited, that I got out of it. Let's see here. Here we go. This is by Aaron Langston. I really, really did enjoy this. This is on an international, I think I mentioned on here before, I like reading international romance where either the male or the female is from America and they go over to England and they fall for somebody in England, or somebody in England come to America and they fall for somebody in America, because I like that dynamic of how this is going to work out. But this is set in the 1800s. The male character has inherited his uncle. I think his uncle left him a printing company or in England, because his mother was from England or Ireland or somewhere like that, and he ends up getting left an inheritance over in England. So he ends up going to, because he's a newspaper man, he ends up going over to, he quits his job, he ends up going to England trying to run, because when he get there he find out that the business is in debt and he's gonna have to pay this debt on here or he's gonna lose the business. And the female character, she's a wannabe writer. Back in them days, they didn't too many women didn't publish books, because back in those days they didn't think a woman could do anything but stay at home and have kids. Yeah, okay. And so she been trying to get her. She been writing on this book. She been trying to get it published. The two of them end up meeting each other in the park where she's out there. She's had a run-in with her ex-fiance. That she did marry, because she was at her dad is a lawyer, so she usually go and help her dads out at the courthouse or wherever it was at. She usually go there and help him out, and she ran into her, I think she ran into her ex-fiance. She ends up going to the park, getting herself together, and they run into each other at the park. And that's how they get started, and then they just meet each other, introduce themselves. I don't even know if they introduce themselves, but they end up talking together. Then they leave. And then another time coming, they end up back in the park. And that's when they actually get to talking, and she found out about him and he found out about her, and that she has a manuscript with her. He ends up reading her manuscript, and they come to an agreement that if she can help him with his printing, he needs to print some books or something to gain money so that he can pay off this debt, and it's going to go from there. And I really love their banter. I love their time together. It was romantic. I really, really love these two together. And my favorite scene is when he gets to go over, she invites him over to the house, and he gets to meet her family. I love that part. I just really, this book just really touched me. I really, really enjoyed this book. Because I was thinking about, because I had forgot that I had read this, and it just kept popping into my mind. What was the name of this book? And I had to go back and find it. And because I was like, I did read this, The Finest Print. And when a book keeps coming back to you, that book has made an impression on you. I don't know. Some people might read it and don't think it did too much. But I don't know. It just had something that I really, really enjoyed this. I gave it a high 4.5. 5-star, and I am going to purchase this book because I really, really did enjoy it. I just enjoyed their time together. I enjoyed him going over to her house and meeting her family. Love this book, and I just like the way they talk to each other. Highly, highly recommend The Finest Print by Aaron Langston, and I will be reading, I think she got another book out. I think she got some novellas out and then another full-length book, and I will be reading the full-length book. I'm going to go back and read that. Can't wait to read it, but highly, highly recommend The Finest Print by Aaron Langston. And this is another one that was not on my TBR. I got all of the TBR to read it. And I'll show you the books here that I have left. Here's my list that I had from back in December. I've been on this list for a while, ever since, as you can see right here, it said August, September. But I've been on here it ended up in December. I still hadn't read all the books. What I have left on here is The Devil's Waltz by Stuart, Part of Your World by Jimenez, Heart of Fire by Charlotte Lamb, Say It's Forever by A.L. Jackson, and The Invitation by Keeland. I'll show you the books here. I probably already showed you these books, but I'll let you know what I'm gonna read next. Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. Can't wait to read this. I hope it's good. So I'll be reading this first, because this is how I pulled them. I had my little cup here with books in there, and this is how I pulled them out. I pulled out Abby Jimenez, so I'm going to read this next, and then I pulled out Charlotte Lamb. I'm going to read that, and then I pulled out Stuart, The Devil's Waltz. I need to finish that one, and then The Invitation by Keeland, and the last, I saw this laying over there. I was like, I don't know if I wrote this up or I don't know if I pulled it. But I know I had it over there to read, so I added this one, Say It Forever, A.L. Jackson. So these are the books I hope to read and finish up in February. And I'm also I'll come back with a February TBR. But I didn't want to add these to that because these were already on the TBR. So I'm going to add some new books because I only got 5 books left. And hopefully I can get through these. And I'm going to add some more to my TBR for February. So I'll come back with the February update with some new books, because I know you all tired of looking at these, but I don't like to move on when I pick some books to read. I want to read them, even though I get off, because I'll probably get off this. I'll probably read some other books that coming out this. I know there's one book coming out this month that I want to read. I already pre-ordered it. I think it's supposed to be out this week or next week. And yeah, it'll probably get read in between some of this. But first, I am going to read these two. Before I read anything else, I am going to read these two. And the book that's supposed to come out either this week or next week, it'll be read after these two. But that's Abby Jimenez, Part of Your World, and Charlotte Lamb, Heart of Fire. But that's all I got for now, guys. I hope you're reading something good. How did your January go? Did you have some good books that you recommend for January? Let me know, because I recommend, highly recommend this series. Check it out if you haven't read it. Highly recommend this. But that's all I got for now. Until next time, keep reading those romances, and I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.